94.9 The Rock, GTA's rock station. Bob on the phone with Nick Hexum of 311, who will be in town tonight at the Bud stage with Gym Class Heroes and the Offspring. How you doing today, Nick?
Fantastic. Thanks for having me.
How is this? It's the NeverEnding Summer Tour. It started in July. It goes until September. How does a tour like this come together?
Gosh, we tour every summer, rain or shine. Some bands kind of tour when they have an album to promote, but we put touring first and keeping that relationship going with our fans. So I guess each sort of fall or winter where we talk to our agent and different bands about who's interested in collaborating, and we've done the Unity tour for many years, which was where we would have various support bands, and the Offspring was on that about 10 years ago, and we thought it was time to make a new tour with them, and we decided to rebrand it with a co-headline bill, call it the NeverEnding Summer Tour, and it's also later in the year where I had never been home in July ever. This was my first July home with a family, so that was cool, and now we're just raging through towns.
Is home still in Omaha, or?
Nope, we all relocated to Southern California years ago. I'm out in Topanga, which is near the beach.
Which is not so bad coming from the Midwest to go with the water,
Especially now that our family is surfing a lot. So it's
cool
great that we're near the water.
Well, the 311 music lends itself quite nicely to a surf sound. You guys have always had those reggae influences, and I'm not surprised you ended up at the ocean.
Yeah, I don't know why that is, that we, even while we still lived in Omaha, we were just very into reggae and surf sounds, and it was just that chill out vibe that we enjoyed, but still with a lot of energy. I'd say we came from Omaha, which is in the middle of all these different geographically, and 311 is in the middle of a lot of different sounds with the punk and the hip hop and the reggae and the hard rock. It's just like we kind of grabbed stuff from all over the place. Well,
I remember when you guys broke out in '95. And the self-titled, that was the debut, right? Of the big debut. You had an EP before that, but I'd never heard. I don't think anybody had ever heard anything like the kind of fusion that you guys were doing, and you can see how where you grew up, that would lead you to that sound. And you guys now you're working on another album after this tour.
Yeah, we actually have about half of the album done. And I feel like on Mosaic, our most recent album, we kind of kicked open the door to a new sound with updating our production styles and having some just more focus on dynamics and like this loud, quiet sort of motif that we're doing. And so we're very excited in further exploring what we did on the last album. So we're not going to just, sometimes you got to take time off just to wait for the ideas to come up, but we feel like we're on a roll.
Well, and you have the luxury to do that. When you have success, you can be a touring band, and you can pay the bills by you can go out on tour every summer, and there's these voracious 311 fans to come see you. But I guess the process really changed a lot. I mean, from that first time, literally recording the EP in your basement, from what I could read, and then getting that first deal. Does the lack of pressure does that change your creative process?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're just doing music for the right reasons, which is just for the creative expression, the fun of it, the enjoyment of it, because you're right, we do have a good career going just on touring, but we're not ready to become what's called a heritage band, where you just go, all you're doing is looking back. But at some point, every band becomes that. I mean, when you go to a Stone show, you don't want to hear something they wrote last year. You want to hear the classic stuff. So I understand it. But we still have a lot of new ideas that we want to get out.
And you do this to the point now. I know it's a show day, so I don't want to keep you too long. But you guys are doing. I've read about you're coming up. You got your Caribbean cruise. Kind of taking that reggae out to the ocean, literally to the Caribbean Sea. You guys have done this before, 5 times before.
Yeah, this is our fifth Caribbean cruise, or is it six? I don't know. And we pick a different destination every time. This time we're going to Belize, and we've expanded it to 5 days. But I'm wasting time promoting it because
it's sold out. Yeah.
But it's really cool that we, 311 is a lifestyle. So having 311 Day, which is kind of our convention, what we do one year, and then the following year we do the cruise, which is a tropical destination, and also having our own beer and having our own cannabis products. It's all just sort of been a natural extension of the lifestyle.
I think that's amazing.
Our fans enjoy it.
Yeah, and do you have do you have fans that follow you around from show to show? You got the regular, like a caravan, kind of doing the Grateful Dead or Fish thing or the Pearl Jam thing, you know?
Yeah, we do, and I recognize quite a few people on the front row, where they call themselves the Rail Rockers, and they are there
nice.
when the doors open, they sprint to the front.
Yeah,
so it's pretty cool.
That's amazing. It's supposed to be great to know that your music has resonated with people like that it's become a lifestyle, you know, and it all comes from the music that you wrote. I can't imagine. I always like to think about artists on stage and hearing, whatever, there'll be 15, 16,000 people there tonight singing your lyrics back to you. I can imagine that never gets tiresome.
It's a beautiful thing. And just to, and I kind of talk about that during the show, that it all just started with 5 friends in a dream. Now, 28 years later, we get to spend all this time doing what we love, which is bringing people together through music. And it's quite an honor.
Well, it's Nick, I really appreciate you taking the time on a show day. Tonight, I think you guys are on just after 9 or something, and or 9:30 or so. But get there early so you can see Gym Class Heroes and the Offspring. I just, I was a fan right from day one, man. I really enjoyed, like, from Down and Transmission, and I worked at a radio station here in Toronto that played the heck out of those back in the day, and they're part of my my early 20s and teen years, and a lot of great memories attached to it. So thank you very much.
I love that. Thanks for having me.